Here we go for the third time this weekend. Can they make it through this time after disaster last time? Well, it looks like the front lot have. Yes, it looks like we're going good. Sean Highton then leads the way from Ryan Radcliffe in second. Will Burns just about having to defend their position. I think Gary Sims there was trying to come through, as was Pearson was around there, Richards. They're all going into Druids all as one for third position. It looks like they're all making it through. Much better start than yesterday afternoon's race. It's John Highton that leads on Radcliffe. Burns there in third, and it's a real scrap for fourth position. G20's having their own race at the back as well. We'll try and keep an eye on that as that one pans out. But it's Highton that leads. Radcliffe in second. Burns is in third as they turn through Paddock Hill then. In fourth is Stuart Pearson, fifth is Clive Richard as they climb the hill, sixth is Mike Robinson, seventh is Graham Johnson, and then in eighth is Andy O'Brien going well. As Mark Wanier, he turns the G20 leader with a load of G40 through through Druids Hillbend. And look at Ryan Radcliffe, he's attacking for the lead, he's right behind Sean Highton as they head down the Cooper Straight. Graham Johnson loses trio of cars for seventh. We've had a spin, I reckon, of Graham Bend. Yellow flag's out. I can't quite. There it is. There's the car. It's Brad Bailey that's had a spin. He's rejoined amongst the forecast scrap, which allowed one of the G20s there to escape. Anyway, back into Paddock, and Sean Highton's got to move on. He's managed to gap Ryan Radcliffe, and we've got that four-car battle for third position. Will Burns leading it from Stuart Pearson, the G20 champion last year. As they all turn into Druid, we got the Caterham champion Clive Richard, he still sits in fifth. Then Mike Robinson, the ex-Clio race winner, in sixth position. A big moment there for one of the G20s down the hill. That was Radical Racer Brian Murphy, but he managed to hold it all together. Graham Johnson still running in that trio of cars down the Cooper Straight, leading that gaggle. See what else we can see. There's Mark Warnier, here's our G20 leader. He's lonely out of Graham Bend, and Brian Murphy runs second in G20. He heads down the Cooper Straight now. Then we've got the battle on for third in G20. That's between Johnny Greenwood and Matt Flowers. Matt Flowers coming through, starting from the back of the grid. Right, Mike Robinson's gone fifth ahead of Clive Richards. His next target, Stuart Pearson, as they head up the hill towards Druids. Can he do it? They get on the brakes. He dives to the inside and gains the position. I think they run side by side. Somebody there just went two wheels into the gravel trap there and losing out there. That was the car in the hands of Andy O'Brien. He lost out to, we think, Ben Contradulis. So the three of them headed down towards 30th onto the Grand Prix loop. That's crap for 10th as well. They're really having a good battle. Gary Sims there trying to work to his way to the front of that lot. He, remember, started from the back. Warnier goes out of view. Brian Murphy there in second. The yellow flag's down at 30s. We can see from the commentary box Clive Richards. Clive Richards has spun at 30s, we think it is. So we'll have to watch out for him as Flowers and Greenwood heading to that stone. Second, really close. Barker being lapped. Robinson on the inside. He goes third ahead of Will Burns now. So Robinson, his next target. Ryan Radcliffe at Burns trying to fight back. It was Clive Richards. He's not there. Stuart Pearson runs in fifth position into Druids Hairpin. Through the trees they go. And the battle really on for third because Burns trying to put the pressure back on to Mike Robinson, multiple race winner this year. Robinson is. As the cars go on to lap 5 of this 15-minute race, we expect 9 laps to be completed. Out of Graham Hillbend. Go the scraps throughout the field. We will do a rundown at the end of the next lap, if we can. There's nothing too dramatic to talk about. So, leaders heading down the road straight into Paddock Hill. It's Sean Highton that leads the way. And then the scrap for second position. Now because Radcliffe's been closed in. Robinson right with him. Burns there as well. So it's a 12 cars for second position. Burns attacking Robinson up the hill then as they all break all as one into the Druids Hairpin. Looking up there, Mike Robinson almost into the other side of Will Burns because he's trying to come round the outside. And it is Radcliffe, there, still in front of Robinson. Then in third. Fourth even is Burns. Fifth is Pearson as they all go out of our sight. In sixth is Graham Johnson. Seventh is Andy O'Brien. 8th is Gary Sims from the back of the grid. 9th is Luke Davenport. 10th is Rick Parfitt Jr. in his only race this weekend. 11th is JJ O'Malley. 12th is Lee Mole. 13th is Brad Bailey. 14th, that's Kevin Begley. 15th, Mark Warner, our G20 leader. 16th, well, that is Kevin Delagi. Brian Murphy's in 17th. 18th is Tiago Calvert. 19th is Matt Flowers. 20th, Johnny Greenwood. And in the final position is Ian Ingram. He's the final person on the lead lap. Right, leader. That battle was second into paddock, and with Ryan Radcliffe falling behind Will Burns as well as Mike Robinson, so he's 4th now. And I think if anything he was 5th across the line, being attacking and passing Stuart Pearson into paddock here. And in fact that is the case as we look on the timing screens. He was behind. Good battle for 7th, Andy O'Brien under all sorts of pressure, and Gary Sims who tries to come around the outside. Luke Davenport, another person from towards the rear of the grid, he's battling in that as well. So 6th, 7th and 8th all together as they head down towards Graham Hill Bend. Well, let's keep an eye on the progress of Matt Flowers. He's managed to get himself ahead and pulled away from Johnny Greenwood. He last time was 4.9 behind Brian Murphy. This is for second in G20. 4.9 becomes 3.3. So the gap right coming down with 2 to go. Heighton still leads Robinson and then Burns. There's Robinson in second, the ex-Clio racer. Up towards Druids they go. Then Ryan Radcliffe trying to close her back in whatever happened a couple laps ago. Where's Pearson gone? Stuart Pearson. There he is. He's lost some time, hasn't he? Next up, Graham Johnson. Then Gary Sims has gone 7th now. And Davenport's ahead. Davenport ahead of Andy O'Brien, who's dropping back. Lee Mole, Rick Parfitt battling it out, up in towards Druids they go. Mole ahead of Parfitt at the moment. Tiago Calvert on his recovery drive heads into Druids with his new look Ginetta G40 with the new bodywork. Mark Warnier there, there's Matt Flowers, he's almost with him now. The battle was second in G20. Right, Heighton heads through paddock towards his second victory this weekend. Heads about a second, then Robinson. They're in P2, still being chased hard by Burns and by Radcliffe as they turn into Druid for yet the final time. Meanwhile behind, Graham Johnson under pressure. He has in fact passed Stuart Pearson. He must have a problem. And Gary Sims has a great run off the paddock. Oh, on the inside. He goes into the Druids hairpin and he gains the position. A great move there from Gary Sims. But certainly we've got a problem. Surely with Stuart Pearson. He's fallen away from the battle for a second and lost a couple of positions as well now. So as they exit Graham Hill Bend for what is the final time of the race. Stuart Pearson should be safe there. Luke Davenport looks a touch too far back, so Pearson should get 7th, but he was hoping for at least a top 5 this week in this race. I'm sure he was after running so well. Mark Warnier, well, he's going to take the G20 victory. What about second? Because Murphy and Flowers almost side by side. And Flowers, the ex-Westfield racer, urges his way opening inside into Druids, and he goes second in G20. But here are your results. But Sean Heighton won by 7 seconds to Mike Robinson. Ryan Radcliffe passed Will Burns on the final lap to go 3rd. Burns lost some time as well. 5th was Graham Johnson. 6th, Gary Sims. Stuart Pearson did hold off Luke Davenport for 7th.